Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Tough Woman Table, episode 3. So, just to give you a little background, I was supposed to have a guest. You know what? Things happen. I'm not sure what happened, but I'm hoping that she is okay, whatever happened. So, tonight's guest was going to be Leslie Keegan. She is a success and mindset coach for visionary female leaders, and she is a force to be reckoned with. She's really awesome. I really hope that I do get to bring her on the show at some point. So here's how I'm going to do this. I'm still going to come live to you guys. But you know what? I'm going to share my story, and I'm actually going to open this up to you guys. If anybody would like to come on and share their story, and I mean, any ladies out there, if you feel that you have a really awesome story that you would love to come on and share with us till 8, a little after 8:30, we'll go a little bit later, please feel free to come on and share. You guys, tonight we're going to keep it raw. We're going to keep it real. And we're going to make it happen. Because you know what? I made a dedication to this show. And this show is going to happen. I'm really thankful for everybody that has supported it. So I plan on still coming to you guys, still coming to you guys as myself. So I'm going to introduce the Tough Woman show, Tough Woman Table still as myself. And like I said, if anybody wants to join in and be on the table, please feel free to let me know and I will bring you on to this live, you guys. So without further ado, let me go ahead and introduce myself to the table. So hello and welcome to the Tough Woman Table, the table where I invite some super badass tough women like all the women who have been on, and to take a seat and join in on the conversation. So tonight I am my guest. And again, if anybody wants to come on, any ladies out there, if you feel you have a story that you'd love to share, please come on and we'll take it. I don't even, if you don't think that your story is worth sharing, trust me, it is. But the show goes on. So at Tough Woman, I believe that all women have the power within themselves to live an authentic life, free from fear, confident in who they are, and empowered as folks to go out and get to live that life, whatever that looks like to them, because everybody's ideal of success is a little bit different, right? And I'll talk a little bit about my ideal of success and what I determine is my success metric tonight. So I share this belief by championing tough women who have walked through the fire, felt the fear, faced adversity, and kept pushing through it all. Women who now live the life that they want, as the women they were created to be, women who own their stories so that other women can embrace and own theirs as well. So you guys, welcome to Tough Woman Table. You know what, Betty? Hey, you want to come on this live and share your story? My guest is MIA, and it's either I'm going to be up on here sharing my story, or I'm going to have some other woman come up on here and help me. If not, it's cool, but I thought I'd ask because you have a really great story, and I always love our conversations. So if not, it's cool, but if you want to, that's cool too. So, hey, you guys, for those of you joining on, thank you for coming on. I'm going to introduce myself for those of you who don't really know me. For any of those of you are coming over from Leslie's audience. Hey, Midge. For anybody that's coming in, please say hi. And just to let you know a little preface of what's going on, my guest, I'm assuming, and I don't often assume, but I'm assuming that she may have had something happening and going on in her life. So she's MIA tonight. So I am without a guest, but it's okay because the show goes on. I said the Tough Woman Table was going to be every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Friday night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And guess what? It's going to be. But what I said also was if any women out there want to come on here and share your story till 8:30, you are more than welcome to. Yeah, I mean, if you want to give me like 20 minutes, that's cool. You can come on the live, Betty. And then, I will go live by myself again for 15 weeks. Y'all, this is what happens sometimes. Things don't always go as we plan them to, but something better always happens. And I'm not saying that when Leslie comes on, it won't be an amazing show, because it will, because Leslie was she's amazing. But hey, Erin! But if Betty decides she wants to come on too, it's going to be great as well. I think for Betty, oh, well, okay. Aaron, thank you guys. And so it happens, and I'm actually kind of happy to be coming to you guys in this live format because I'm gonna be really authentic about this. Upon taking on this show and doing this, there is a little funkiness between balancing talking to you guys and paying attention to who's on my screen and also being able to pay attention to the comments as well. I literally have to do this little balancing act of my phone here, comment, everything here and everything here. So it's been a fun learning journey, you guys. So while I figure out who might potentially coming on, you guys, let me talk a little bit about my story, unless Betty decides to come on. Let me talk a little bit about my story and how I got started. So, and how Tough Woman got started, because to really tell you my whole story we would be here for hours, and yeah, it's a really long story. But how Tough Woman Table got started. My story really goes back to high school, but how it got started was 5 years ago. I was coming out of a really crappy divorce, a really crappy marriage. I was 25, so I'll be 31 this August, so 6 years now. I was 25. I was now the single mom to 2 kids. I had 2 kids with 2 different fathers. And just to give you a little clarification, my daughter's father is unfortunately not a very present person at this moment. He has a lot going on in his own life, and he's just not there. And then my son's father, we co-parent quite well. We are divorced. But anyways, so I was fresh off separation divorce. It was 25. I had a lot of, oh, hold on. You guys, I can't see. All right, you start. Okay, cool, you guys. So, you guys, I just saw your comment, Penny. So I don't know why it doesn't let me see them all, but we gonna get in here. Okay, so maybe that'll fix it. All right, so you guys, I was fresh out of a separation, fresh out of a divorce. I had just moved back in with my mom at 25. I now had 2 kids. I was a single mom to 2 kids. You guys, I absolutely hated my life. I hated myself. At the time, I was a certified pharmacy technician. I had taken a break from hospitality, and I had been doing pharmacy technician for 5 years. You guys, I hated my damn job. I hated my freaking job. But what I remember most was that I hated where I was at. I had done network marketing for a little bit, and I'd done all this other stuff, and it was always for this chasing of being successful and having money and never having to worry about being in the situations that I was finding myself in. You guys, I had to move back in with my mom because I was living paycheck to paycheck, and I couldn't afford to live on my own. I was thousands of dollars in debt now, thanks to my now ex-husband. Not to throw him under the bus, but the way our marriage ended, I was now thousands of dollars in debt. I'm talking about thousands of dollars in debt. When we divorced, I took thousands of dollars in debt in my name with me. And I was providing for 2 children now. I was providing by myself for 2 children. So I moved back in with my mom. I had a really unhealthy view of myself. I had a very unhealthy relationship with myself. To say that I hated myself was actually a massive understatement. I could not stand to even look at myself. I just couldn't. I had no worth. When I was growing up, I was constantly, I mean, to tell you how I was growing up, I started having sex at 14. My value was based on whether men would sleep with me, and it ended up putting me in places where I was around drug dealers in my teens in high school. I was around people I didn't need to be around, and that's how I ended up pregnant at 16, most likely. But anyways, back to where I was at with my mom. So what happened was, after the divorce, I was super angry. I was pissed, like so mad, like how dare, like someone loves you, right? How dare they put you through this shit? Like really? Like I remember there were times where I would be rage, like full of rage, just fucking so angry at the world, so angry. And I would scream. I literally remember one night, for no reason, getting off the phone with my son and my ex-husband on the phone. Just the sound of his voice filled me with this rage. I mean, just like I screamed at him. I remember screaming. And that night, some voice in the back of my head said, dude, this is not you, right? And so what really though, and I feel like that probably should have been like a wake up call, but I think it was maybe the low knock. So what really was the knock there was I started drinking and I started smoking a lot of weed to numb myself. And I remember going like, man, this is not you. So what really woke me up though is I remember waking up one night in an ex-boyfriend's bed, or morning, very early morning. I remember waking up very early morning one day in an ex-boyfriend's bed. I don't remember the night before because we got completely wasted. I think just my children were with their other parents, so it's not like I went out and partied and left my kids at home. And I remember waking up and I go, Ashley, what are you doing? Like, I'm literally leaving someone's house that I don't want to be at like 5 o'clock in the morning. I'm still hungover. I don't remember what happened. You guys, I don't really drink. I'm going to be really honest. I don't really drink. And at that time, I didn't really drink either. And I'm like, Ashley, what are you doing? You're no better than the situation that you just got out of. My ex-husband had a lot of issues, and it's like I said, I'm not throwing him under the bus, but you guys need to understand that I'd been dating since I was 14 up till 26. So you're talking about 12 to 13 years of really shitty relationships, like really shitty relationships. And I was constantly in a relationship. Up until I was 26, I had never been single. I'd always been with someone. And so I'm leaving, and on the drive home, I remember breaking down into tears. And I said, God, I said, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to live this life. I don't want to keep attracting these people to me. Like, I don't get it. What am I doing? I'm a good person. I said, I'm a good mom. I deserve a good life. And you know what? For the first time in my whole life, I actually said I deserve something. You guys, I had no worth. I didn't think I deserved anything. I didn't think I was worthy of anything because I didn't have love for myself. So anyways, I remember getting home and having this conversation with myself, because I had a conversation with myself. And I said, you know what, this is it. We're not doing this anymore. They say your vibe attracts everything into your life. And I knew that I did not want to keep attracting those same things anymore. And if someone is commenting, and I didn't want to attract those things into my life anymore. I didn't want it. I didn't want those crappy relationships. I wanted the relationships I saw, the ones that worked, the ones where the people talked and you were happy, like they were happy, right? And I didn't want to live paycheck to paycheck anymore. I didn't want to work a job that I freaking hated anymore. I knew there was something better. I knew there was. I saw it. I saw other women who had it. And I saw that they were happy. And you know what? That's what I wanted the most, is I wanted to be happy. I just wanted to be happy. And I wanted my kids to see a happy mom. And I wanted to be a happy daughter. And I wanted to be a happy person. And eventually I wanted to be a happy partner, So it was then, at that time, that I said, okay, I'm done. And I'm not going to date anymore. And I'm going to date myself. And I'm going to figure out what is going on inside of me that I need to work on. Because whatever's going on inside of me that I'm not dealing with is what's now being put out into the universe, and that's what's attracting to me. Because the one thing we all need to understand is the things that you attract into your life, whether they be jobs, people, situations, relationships, whatever it is a complete mirror and reflection of whatever you have going on inside of you. So I say that because I often hear people going, women will say all men are shitty, and then they go wonder, well, why do I always attract shitty men? Well, because you're saying all men are shitty. So what that puts out into the universe is that you only attract shitty men. And it runs the same way for men. Men go, oh, all bitches are crazy. So you're attracting, and it's not that the women are crazy, it's just that they're not healed, you guys. And let me, before I go any further, let me really say that it's not that anybody's a shitty person. It's not that anybody's crazy. It's not that anybody is worse or better or stupid or anything other than that. Is you guys, we're all wounded, and what happens is we have to make the active choice to heal those wounds within ourselves. You know, there's a saying that goes, if you don't heal the wounds that someone, you know, if you don't heal the wounds, you're going to bleed on other people that did not cut you. So it's like, if you don't repair the wounds, you're going to heal on other people that didn't cut you. And that's what I was doing, you guys. I was bleeding all over people that didn't even do anything to me. And if everybody's commenting, thank you guys. I can't see, the comments aren't going for some reason, but whatever. We're going to keep rolling with this. We're improvising. The show goes on, you guys. So I said, okay, I'm going to date myself. And I did that for 5 years. Now, let me tell you about what happened in that 5 years. So shortly after I started dealing with my own shit, the universe started going, all right, well, let's see how ready you are to deal with it. That was the first time my daughter's father ended up in prison, ended up in jail for, I don't even remember, but it was the first time. And all of a sudden, I now have, she was in 3rd grade, she's like 8 or 9 at the time, and now I'm not only dealing with my own crap, which we're talking about some deep crap, when you're finally taking a look at yourself after a very long time and you're sitting in your own shit, because that's what it is. You're sitting in your own shit and you're facing your demons. Now, not only was I facing my stuff and working through my stuff, but now my daughter was dealing with abandonment issues. My daughter was dealing with a father who was choosing other things over her, and she literally had a meltdown. You know, my daughter was 8 or 9 and dealing with things that she should not be dealing with at 8 or 9. And I knew that I had to not only continue working on myself for myself, but I had to work on myself so that my daughter could see how to cope and work through things herself. You know, I remember I put her into counseling, and I remember coming to this counselor and I said, I need help because I'm still learning how to talk to myself, and I need to learn how to not only talk to my daughter, but I need to learn how to help her move through this because I don't know how to help her right now. You know, I don't. So you guys, so not only am I in the middle of a divorce separation and I'm dealing with this, now my daughter's father is in prison. I'm dealing with a daughter who has massive abandonment issues now because a daddy that she's known her whole life is now gone. He's just gone. And the matter, like, literally disappeared off the face of the frickin' map, and he was gone. And I'm sitting here with a daughter who's having meltdowns going, Mom, my dad doesn't love me. There were times where she didn't even want to talk to me. She didn't want to talk to anybody because she didn't know how to process it. And at the same time, I'm going through my own shit, and I don't know how to process it. And I'm like, this isn't going to work. I have to keep working through this because this has to be healthier. This can't be normal. This can't be shown as normal. You know, my daughter has to learn to feel. And as soon as I said that, I realized I had to learn to feel. You guys, for so long in my life, I had put off feeling. I didn't feel. And I'll tell it like this is how I viewed it. I had locked some piece of myself away a very long time ago. A piece of myself, I locked it up so tight so that I could never be broken, right? No one could ever fully break me. I used to be really proud of that, actually. I used to be really proud of the fact that nobody could ever completely hold my heart and break it because I had it locked up and nobody could get a hold of it. Well, the problem was I locked it away from myself, you guys. I used to actually secretly be envious of women that could cry because I couldn't cry. I was like the biggest ice queen in the world. I was very much the, oh, suck it up, you'll be okay kind of person. So again, in amongst this 5 years, my daughter's father falls off the map. We're dealing with that and abandonment issues. I'm dealing with my own issues and working through my own shit, working through my divorce, working through figuring out what's the next phase of going through everything in life, right? And dealing with everything. And I'm also learning how to co-parent now, like actually co-parent appropriately with my ex-husband, which was not not the most successful. It took us a couple years, you guys, because we had no communication skills. I didn't know how to communicate. He didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know how to communicate in our marriage. And we were really hateful to each other for the first year or so. It took us years to figure it out. So in the middle of working through all this, I'm just dealing with all this shit. And when you go through self work and inner work, you deal with a lot of dark areas that you don't want to shine light on as you grow, right? We deal with these, and you work through it and you move through it. And for a couple years, I didn't realize that that's what I was doing, was dealing with these, really dealing and doing what they call inner work and personal development. I just didn't know. And finally, I remember after, I was probably about a year or so into it. I had started working out. I was hanging around more positive people. I actually enjoyed the place I worked at. I was still a pharmacy technician, but I was at a job that I actually liked. My daughter was finally starting to work through stuff, and I was actually at a really good place as far as working through my own emotions towards the divorce and my ex-husband and even myself. And I remember this really clearly. I took my son to Chuck E. Cheese. It was just a weekend I had my son. My daughter was visiting with family somewhere. We went to Chuck E. Cheese. We had a really good day. When we laid down and we took a nap, which I still don't do that very often, but I did not do it very often then. And we took a nap. And I remember waking up and I look over and he's sleeping. And I remember this feeling. I was like, I feel really good. I feel really good about myself. For the first time, I felt like I could breathe. I felt really clear-headed. I felt like, okay, I'm on the right path. Like, it's a little sucky sometimes, and I don't get it, but okay, I'm moving. And I remember looking in the mirror and looking at myself and going, you know what? I like myself. For the first time in my entire life, I could look at myself and go, you know what? I like myself, and I like who I see when I look in the mirror. So that is when I said, okay, there's got to be something to this, right? This whole facing your demons and sitting with your shit, which I didn't call it all that, but knowing that I need to continue this work and work on whatever I had going on inside of me. And so what that led to was me becoming a personal trainer. And as I continued down that and more personal development and working through the dark spaces of myself, it led to me moving back to where I had left from. It led to me going on this crazy journey. I was a manager of a gym. I was a personal trainer. I did baking for a while, and the entire time I still worked on myself. You guys, I didn't date for years, and I'm still not dating, but for years, it just didn't. And I dated myself. I took myself out. You guys, I treated myself. I asked myself, what do you need to make yourself better? I learned to love myself for everything that I was and everything that I thought that I wasn't, because I knew that I needed to love myself first for anybody else to love me. I knew that I had to respect myself for anybody else to respect me. And most importantly, I wanted to be okay with myself. In fact, I wanted to be better than okay. I wanted that happiness, right? So you guys, just to tell you about how this ties in, when I started this journey, I remember going, man, I wish there was a woman that would take me by the hand and say, here you go. I'm with you. I got you. Not only am I going to be with you on this journey, but I'm going to help show you the way, because I've already paved it, because I've already walked that path, because I've already been through it and I've been down that lane. So here it is. I'm going to hold your hand. We're going to come up with this plan and we're going to make this happen. And I said, man, I wish that there was a woman like that. Like, Cinderella's fairy godmother. I wanted one of those. I wanted me a fairy godmother. So lo and behold, 5 years later, I've moved moved a couple times, and now I'm down here. And what I didn't realize is that I had already been coaching women for a while. But I realized coming down, I said, okay, so I've been doing this and I'm in this really fantastic spot. I had been doing personal development on my own and inner work for 5 years now. And I was at this really great spot in my life. And I was finally back where I wanted to be, which was Florida. And I just was really happy with my life. But I said, you know what, there's still more to it. There's another piece to this puzzle. There's something else. And I remember sitting one day and I go, Ashley, remember when you said you wish there was a woman that would guide you by the hand and be your little fairy godmother and show you the way? Well, guess what? That's you. And that's you. And now it's your turn to turn around and help someone else. You guys, it's your turn, or I said to me, it's your turn to turn around and help somebody else out. And lo and behold, that is how I got to where I'm at now, which was building Tough Woman Coaching, which originally started as the Unfuckwithable Woman. And it became Tough Woman Coaching now because it's a little bit easier and it works for presentations and yada, yada, yada. There's a whole bunch of other stuff but anyways, so upon that journey and figuring that out, that dove me even into way more personal development, because now you're talking about working with women, right? Really taking what I've learned, what I've done, and what I've gone through, and actually creating a business out of it, actually creating programs that are going to help women transform their lives and make it so that they don't have to go through years of personal development, you guys, because I went through years of personal self-development. So I said, okay, I have all these tools and I've learned all this stuff, and I've actually been coaching. I've coached other women in professional capacities, not, and I said, okay, so I'm going to make this happen and I'm going to help other women. And that in and of itself has been a tremendous journey. When and I'll tell you the reason why I started this show. And it ties into all of this, you guys. I kind of bounce around a little bit sometimes. It's really easy to see somebody's highlight reel, right? It's really easy to go, oh man, she is living the life. She's got the life. I could never do that. Or I wish I could do that. Da 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 da. You guys, there's a behind the scenes to everybody. There's a story that everybody has of trial, a tribulation, whatever they went through. You guys, there was a point in time where I hated public speaking. And it's not because I actually hated public speaking. It's because I didn't know how to speak. I was so scared of rejection. And I didn't know how to speak. So it's not that I hated public speaking. I just didn't know how to speak, and I didn't have a voice. All right? So, and now look, I love public speaking. You guys, I'm on here live on a show where I was supposed to have a guest. But shit happens, and you roll with it, and you pivot, and you move through it, okay? So there's a behind the scenes. There's trials, there's tribulations for everything. I grew up with so many perceived issues. I grew up thinking that my worth was designated by whether or not a man wanted to sleep with me or be with me. When men didn't want to be with me, I was personally freaking rejected. Like, I took that as a personal rejection. I felt completely messed up. It scarred me. It really fucked me up. And I had a daughter whose father dropped off the map, who wasn't helping me. And I had, I had my daughter at 17, you guys. So there's that. I've been on my own since I was 16, and I've lived on and off with my parents, but I've been primarily on my own since I was 16. So on top of all that, I've worked multiple jobs at one time, all this stuff, and working through all my own shit and having to work with my kids and teach them to work through their own stuff. There's always a behind the scenes to somebody. And that's how this show got started, because there's a behind the scenes, and everybody's story is important. And it's easy to see that highlight reel. It's easy to see that highlight reel. And I think that's what fucks us up, because we go, oh my gosh, she's doing great. And we compare where she's at versus saying, okay, where does she start? because everybody's middle and further along, there was a beginning to that, you guys. There was a beginning to that. Everybody's got a beginning. And that's how this started. That's how Tough Woman Coaching started. That's how everything started, is acknowledging that there was the beginning, or there was a beginning to everybody's story. And how you ended up wanting your story to progress is how I came in and helped. But anyways, so I was down here, I was working through all of that, and you guys, you see a lot of my highlight reel, but there are so many days where I have cried. You guys, I've had coaches, I'm still lucky enough. I just finished my coaching program. There are days where I would literally get on calls and just cry and feel like I was totally screwing up. What am I doing? Having total existential crisis. I was going, I have no business running a business. How do I know these women are going to want to, just this complete crazy narrative in my brain, because that's all it was a story I was telling myself. A story that I had complete control over, but because I still had some of those old fears that I had to work through, it was a story that I knew and that I was comfortable in. It was that story of, oh, you shouldn't reach out there and try because you might fail. So it's better to just sit back and not do anything instead of failing. But you guys, that's not a story I'm okay with. That's not a story that I'm comfortable with. And that's not a story I would tell anybody, especially any woman, to be comfortable with. You guys, so this show came along because I wanted you guys to understand that there are stories to everybody. Nobody's highlight reel is all there is. There are behind the scenes to it. And that's a little bit of my behind the scenes. But anyways, so I knew that going forward, I wanted to help women. Like I said, I dealt with so much when I went into the business. There were highs and lows. There were times where before I really started having a lot of people interact and follow me on Facebook, I thought, man, how am I going to create a business out of this? I had no background in marketing. I had no background in all these different areas that it takes to run a business. When I started my podcast, I had no idea how to run a podcast. I had no idea how to edit a podcast. I had nothing. You know what I did? I went to one meeting of the Podcasters Association down here in Florida, got this sheet, this blog post, the 27 things you need to do to start your podcast. I read that. I did everything that it said on the list, and guess what? I started my podcast. When this business became a reality to me, when coaching became an option to me, I said, okay, what do I need to do that? So it meant hiring my own coaches because I had no idea what I was doing. And I needed people who had done it already. It meant reaching out and finding the resources that I needed because, like I said, I had no idea what I was doing about building a business. So, all right. So I had to go out and I had to do it. I had to figure all this stuff out. Everything that I've done up until now, I have reached out and found the resources. I've found the help. I've gone and asked people for help, and I've continued to work through it, even though, God, there are some days where I want to crawl up in bed, not lately, and cry. You guys, I remember some days I'd be sitting in the bathroom floor crying my eyes out because I felt like I was failing. I felt like a complete freaking failure. I said, what am I fucking doing? What am I fucking doing? And that's when I'd have to reach out. That was I'll tell you the one thing I've learned in this part of the journey is it's very imperative that you have a tribe. It's very imperative that you have a tribe because when you're doing something like this, don't do it alone. Have the support system and learn to reach out. For the longest time, I didn't reach out. I thought that I was okay. And Leslie, we're still going. My guest just messaged me. You guys, reach out. That's why I created the tribe. You need people on your side. You need people, whether that's a coach, whether that's a better group of friends that are more positive and like-minded. You need people, and most importantly, it's okay to reach out. When you need help, reach out. Ask for help. Let's see, make sure that nobody's, okay. If you have comments, say them to me. Reach out. Ask for help. That was my biggest thing. I refused to ask for help for the longest time. I got this. I'm all good. But in the back of my mind, I'd be like, man, I just wish someone would come help me. I feel so, I just feel so alone. I need help. Leslie, if you are on, girl, hold on, you guys. Girl, get on Facebook. If you can, I'll pull you on the live. See, you guys, this is real life, man. I ain't even lying right now. This is real life. But yeah, and then I just lost my train of thought. It's all good, you guys. So yeah, reach out and ask for help. Like, don't ever sit there and think that you have to do all this alone. You know, that was the biggest thing I learned in creating a business, is that, and then my hair will be looking crazy, is that you don't have to do this alone. There's no part of you that has to do this alone at all. You don't. If you want to. I don't ever want to make anybody do anything they don't want to. You don't have to do this alone. So anyways, so how Tough Woman Table came around is that I wanted to help other women. And here's where this comes in, because this is where my passion came around. When I became empowered as a woman, I realized how important it was for women to be empowered. Y'all, if I could put the way I feel into a pill and give it to y'all, I would gladly give that and sell it. I'd probably be a flipping millionaire, because I wake up every day and I'm happy, you guys. I'm fucking happy with my life. My life is crazy sometimes. It is hectic. It is all over the place, but I absolutely love it. And I wouldn't change a damn bit of it. I wouldn't. I am proud to say that I've been through hell and back in the last it's been longer than that. But I've made it, and I've persevered, and I've kept going, and I've learned so much, you know. And here's the secret to being empowered and being an empowered woman. Here's my secret. You guys want to know my secret sauce? Here's what it is. You're already empowered. But the thing about it is we're sitting here waiting with our hand out like this, waiting for someone to come hand us these things that we want. You guys, the things that you want, you got to go get them. Nobody handed me a podcast. I had to learn to do that. Like I said, I had to go to meetings. I had to talk to people. I had to learn, you guys, I had to learn about podcast hosting. I had to learn about editing. I had to learn about what do you need to do to get on iTunes, to do this, all that. I learned all that myself. When I was building my business, the entire back office that I built for my business, my programs, guess what I did? I hired coaches because I had no idea what I was doing, and I built the rest of it by studying my ass off, by finding the resources, by finding the people, by connecting. You guys, when I came up with this show, do you know what I did? I went out and I found these freaking amazing women. And Leslie, I love you. Leslie is pouring hearts in here. You guys, shit happens. Life happens. We move through it. Leslie will be on the show again, I promise you. But you guys, the key to being an empowered woman is realizing that you're already empowered and you have the power. The fucking problem is someone came along and told you you didn't. And you believe that lie. You believe that lie. And you know what? That's not your fault. That's not your fault, because that's what we're told as women. Be a lady. Be a good woman. Take care of the house. Work a job. You know, be a good, dutiful wife. And take care of your husband. And I'm not saying those are bad things. I'm not. But ladies, it is okay to put yourself first. It is okay to want to take care of yourself first. And it is a beautiful thing to love yourself. You want to create that business? That's great. You should do that. And if you don't have people in your life that tell you that go, you know what? That's right. You know what? You want to go do that? You do that. If you don't have people in your life who don't tell you that, then you need to get new people. I had a friend who struggled with her family. Really struggled. They were incredibly negative to her. I mean, detrimental to her mental health. Bad. And I remember her going, what am I supposed to do? Da, 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 da. Quit talking to your family. I know that sounds harsh. They're your family. But if it's at the expense of your mental health, if you literally leave feeling like a shameful person and a bad person, this chick was a good person. This is one of the best women that I know. Literally would give you the shirt off her back and her last freaking dollar to her name. And she's sitting here being told that she's trash and shitty because her family doesn't necessarily agree with the relationship she was in at the time. That's not their business. And here's the thing. If people that you're around don't agree with what you're doing, I mean, unless you're doing drugs and murdering people, I can't speak on that. But if you're out there doing better and you're working on yourself and you're starting a business and you're fucking excited and the people that you're around are telling you different, get new people. Get new people. You guys, I got new people. I got new friends. I got people who saw the vision and who saw bigger visions. And you know what? I got belief from myself. And that's where it starts. You want to know that that's the other part to being an empowered woman, is knowing, again, you have the power to make anything happen. I have the next 3 weeks of this show scheduled out. And you know what that came with? That came with just getting out there and making it happen. You guys, the first night that I was scheduled to do the show, I had a whole nother platform called Be Live that I was going to do. And I realized 10 minutes till we were getting ready to start, 15 minutes till we were getting ready to start the show, that it would Be Live only had 20-minute spots. And this was an hour show. That was not going to work. So literally in the middle of all this, 15 minutes till showtime with my guest on, I had to completely get on a totally different platform, figure all of it out in 5 minutes. Give myself like 5 minutes. I've got this guest on with me. I'm going, oh my God. But you know what? We made it happen. We made it happen because you know what? Because I refuse to let myself fail. Because the only way you fail is when you stop trying, when you stop believing in yourself, when you stop going after the things that set yourself on fire. Self-work, inner work, 6 years of it taught me that I am so fucking strong. I'm so strong. Talking to the women that I've talked to, coaching the women that I've coached, y'all are so strong, and we don't give ourselves enough credit. If you really looked at what you do in a day, I mean, there were days where I would literally work 2 jobs in a single day. And I would come home and I would have a few hours with my daughter or my son. And I would spend the time that I could with them, and I'd be running off 2 hours of sleep. And I would do that for days on end. And I've worked since I was 14. But I've done what I've had to do to make it happen. And, I did the best that I could with what I knew at the time. And then when the time came for me to learn more, I chose to learn more and I chose to get better. And I actively made that choice. And that's what I think the key part is to my story, and the most transformative part of it is that I made that choice to understand that I already had that power, that unfuckwithableness that's in all of us. You guys, we all have that. We all have that capability. We all have the ability to go out and make these things happen. And that's my message, is that you have this power. You have this insane power. Women, we give life. We are the givers of life. You guys, we hold small human beings in our bodies for 9 months, and we give life. We take care of households. We run households. We hold down jobs, raise kids, and take care of people. And at the end of the day, we don't take care of ourselves. And we wonder why we're so burnt out and we're so fucking unhappy. And it doesn't have to be that way, you guys. If people are commenting and I'm not seeing anything, I'm so sorry. Oh my God. Leslie. I don't know if there's a way. Hold on. You know what? Oh. Invite. No, I don't want to invite friends to watch. But anyways, Leslie, we will reschedule. It happens. It happens. Life happens, you guys. It happens. And the show goes on. So it's okay. And I got to tell a little about me. So, all of that, yeah, you guys, we have the power inside of us. We have the ability to make anything we want in this world happen. Everything that I've done up till now, with my business, with my speaking. You guys, I applied for TED. And you know what I could have said? I could have said, well, I don't really have any previous speaking experience. I'm not this big hot shot like Mel Robbins or Tony Robbins. Surely they're not going to want me. And who knows? I haven't heard back yet, but you know what? I know I'm going to be on that stage one day because I know it. Because guess what? I know that I can make it happen, and I'm going to keep putting in the work to make it happen. Damn right I am. So guess what? When you guys see me on TED, you know what's up. When I started my coaching business, people looked at me like I was freaking insane. They're like, what are you doing? What? You're going to do what? Online? What? I had 50 million people who told me why I should not do this business. But you know what? I had myself that said, you know what? I know I can help women. I know how I can help women. And I know that if I don't do it, there are women who may not get helped because I didn't take the leap, because I didn't have faith in myself to take the leap and make things happen. And so, you guys, I want to now tell you, and you guys, Leslie is dropping bombs over here. I want to tell you guys the main mission of what Tough Woman Coaching Company and the Unfuckwithable. What is my main mission? So my main mission is to empower 3 million women to unshackle their mind, body, and souls so that they can live an authentic life, free from fear, confident in who they are, and empowered as fuck to go out and get that. You guys, everything you want is on the other side of that fear. Everything you want is on the other side of that narrative that you tell yourself, that story that says that you're not good enough, that there's no way you can make that happen, that, oh man, I see those chicks doing it online, but I couldn't. Because you guys, for every highlight reel you see, know that there is a behind the scenes to it. There is a behind the scenes to it. You guys, I talked to a 22-year-old today. 22. She's married with a kid, and she's coming on the show really soon. So I don't want to give too much of her story away because I was blown away. 22, and she is woke as shit, y'all. Woke as shit. Like, Leslie, you will love this chick. She's straight up like, I was blown away at her level of awareness at such a young age. But I couldn't imagine going through some of the stuff she went through. That was my thing, listening to these stories. I've listened to the stories of probably 15 women in doing all this. And I'm sitting there, oh my God. I think my story was kind of crazy. And I didn't even tell y'all all of it because it would just be a long story. And some of these women have these crazy stories. They went through hell. And do you know what? They got right the fuck back up. They got right back up. And they kept going. And they said, you know what? I'm worth it. I talked to a girl the night before, like last night. I don't know if I would have had the courage to get back up after everything she went through. I just don't, I don't know, because she went through hell, you guys. But you know what she did? And she had no support system. She got back up. And she believed in herself. And she knew that she could accomplish stuff. And she worked her ass off. And do you know what she's going to do now? She's getting ready to speak at a massive online virtual summit. Something that she said she would have never done 2 years ago. But she believed in herself. She reached out. She met the right people. She put in the fucking work. And she knew that she was capable. She knew that she was powerful. She knew that she had it all in her to make it happen. And that's what I want to tell you guys today. When I talk about empowering women, it's really an understanding that you are already empowered. You already have that power inside of you, but you need to become aware of it. And you need to learn to acknowledge it and give it voice. You guys, this person that you see here, this is me. This is real me. This is the voice that I held back for so long. The voice that I was afraid to let speak because I was afraid of what people would think of me. Oh my God, what are people going to think of me? Now, you know what? I like me. I like who I am. And I've got a bunch of people that like me too. But regardless of all of that, I like me. I like who I am. I know what I'm here for. I know that I have nothing but beautiful intentions for the people that come into my life and the things that are going in my life. And you know what the best part is? I know what I want, and I know that it's going to happen because I know that I can make it happen. That's empowerment. You want to know how you manifest things in your life? believing they can happen because you know you're going to make them happen. It's not just, the believing is great, but I know it's going to happen because I'm going to make it happen. Do you know how I'm going to end up on TED? Because I applied to TED. That's how I'm going to end up on TED. Do you know how I'm going to become a New York Times bestselling author? Because I'm going to write books that are badass. Okay, do you know how I know I'm going to help empower 3 million women into their most badass selves? Because I'm going to keep pushing, and I'm going to keep putting myself out there, and I'm going to keep working with women, and I'm going to keep telling them that they're fucking awesome and they rock. Because nobody else is telling them this. I talk about the table and pulling a seat up to the table all the time, and we talk about change and all this other stuff. You guys, nobody's going to hand us that, especially being women. Nobody's going to hand us that. So you know what we got to do? We got to get our own damn chair and pull it up to the table. And if you're like me, you're going to pull it up to the table, stick your feet up on there, lean back and go, okay, what's up? Because here I am, and now I'm going to be part of this conversation. So you guys, that's what being empowered is understanding you have that power, but you have to acknowledge it, you have to accept it, and you have to give it its space, and you have to go, listen, I'm here, and I'm not going to be quiet now, and I'm going to make shit happen. Whatever timeline it takes, I'm still going to make it happen. I will do every single thing I set my mind to, and you can do it too. Do you know how I know? Because you can. Because you have that power, because you have that ability. Because if I can fucking do it, you can do it too. I am no different than any of you out there. There is nothing that makes me any better than you at all. You guys, I am the product of divorced parents, and my parents are great. I'm not saying that. I'm the product of divorced parents. I got pregnant at 16. I dropped out at 16. I got my GED. And I was on my own at 16. Do you have any idea the amount of statistics that are sitting against me? Okay? I have multiple certifications. I have a national pharmacy technician certification. I have a personal trainer certification. I have a life coach certification. I have a baking and pastry degree. Okay. I have done every single thing I put my head to. You guys, I'm a podcaster. I've run my own podcast on multiple streaming platforms, iTunes, Spotify, whatever. I run my own business. You guys, I just pitched my company in front of 40 people this morning. Do you know why? Because I applied and I put myself out there and I said, hell yeah, I'm going to do this. Nobody gave me these opportunities. That's what being an empowered and unfuckwithable woman is. It's knowing that you have the capability to do it and going out and fucking doing it. That's what it is. That's my story. That's what I'm here for. That's why I do everything I do. That's why I created the tribe. That's why I created this show. And and just one other reason why I created this show and why I think this is so important. As women, we talk about collaboration over competition. But how many real examples do we have of women really coming together and collaborating for the simple act of collaborating and celebrating sisterhood, right? So I knew that with this show, I left at 16, Leslie. I left at 16. I knew with this show that I wanted to bring on women who not only had their own stories, but they were going to be able to empower other women. But I also wanted to show that successful women, no matter their level of success, can not only shine separately, but they can shine together and they can help each other. You guys, I bring other women who are in the same field as me onto my audience. And I do it because these women have different stories, and these women have the ability to help people that I might not be able to reach. And here's my thing. So if bringing another woman on who's in the same potential arena as me, and even if she's not, if her story reaches someone on my platform, in my audience, and their life is changed, that woman goes, oh my God, where have you been my whole life? And she makes the decision to do something for herself that makes her life better, that makes her feel empowered, that makes her feel like a badass woman, like she is and should feel, then I've been successful. You guys, when I talk about empowering 3 million women, it doesn't necessarily mean that those 3 million women have coached with me, although that would be pretty badass to say I've coached 3 million women. It means I empowered 3 million women. And if that means I empowered 3 million women because I work with an awesome network of women who can help these women, then that's how those women got empowered. But I think it's too easy to see women and for us to tear each other down, you guys. And I don't want to see it anymore. You know, those are the reasons why this show's here. I want you guys to see that it's possible for women to not only work together, but we are so much more powerful and successful when we work together. And my hope is that if one woman sees my shows, sees these women, hears their story and go, oh my God, if she can do it, I can do it too, because you can, then I'm successful. Then I'm successful. My metrics of success have been achieved. And that I will go to my grave saying that. So you guys, that is my story. Oh my God, I went a whole hour, you guys. For everybody, and Leslie, if you want to holler at me when I get done with this. Yes, better together, you guys. Better together. We are so much more powerful together, ladies. And I know I've probably been a little bit all over the map. But the show went on, and I'm really happy I got to do this. It's been such an insane day. It's been an amazing week. It's been an amazing life, you guys. Life is amazing. And if you allow it, it will give you amazing things. But you have to be prepared to receive it. Remember I told you have to be able to ask? In order to receive the things you want in life, you have to be willing to receive them. And you have to be open. And for a very long time, here's the big thing that I realized. I wasn't open to receiving things, whether it be help, love, money, whatever. I was not open to receiving anything. I thought, hey, I can do it all myself. But here's the thing, we can't. You know, I mean, we could do a lot, but we need help. We need to be able to know how to ask for help. And we need to be able to receive it. And we need to know that that's okay. You know what my biggest narrative was with my relationships? Oh, I don't need a man to take care of me. Oh, you don't have to spoil me. So you know what I ended up with? Narcissists. Narcissistic mama's boys who wanted a mother instead of a wife. They didn't want a wife. They wanted someone to take care of them. And that's what I got. Drug addicts. People who had vice, addiction, gambling problems. The gamut of it. When you know what I really wanted? I wanted a man who was a partner. I wanted a man who spoiled me. I wanted a man who took care of me. But you know what it was? I wasn't open to receiving, and I didn't know how to ask for what I wanted. So, you guys, that is my story. That's a kind of condensed one. I went by the cuff with this, you guys. This is as raw as it's gonna get with this show. And Leslie, I know that we are gonna do an awesome show. Shit happens. Shit happens. Hey, you're right. You know what? Leslie's saying here, this full moon is a very disruptive energy. You guys, this full moon was literally 3 full moons in one. I don't remember where I read that, but because this full moon falls in an eclipse season, it's literally got the power of 3 full moons in one full moon. So this full moon is insane, y'all. Insane, and it is absolutely nuts. But you guys, that's the show tonight. That raw, real, me, uncensored. And for everybody, Leslie will be on, and I have no doubt that that show is going to be absolutely amazing. So here's the part of the show where I tell you how to reach the guest, which the guest is me. Obviously, you guys know where I'm at. But really what I want to talk about is the fact that I have my tribe. So for all women who resonate with this message, for all women who want to be confident, who want to step out of that fear zone, who want to learn how to receive, and who want to learn how to ask for stuff, for women who just want to be empowered as fuck, who want to live their life and, you know what, get the shit that they know that they want, that deep, deep desire deep down, then what I'm going to do is include the link to my tribe in here. I want you to click that link and join that tribe. because I swear to you, that's where miracles happen. And I'm also going to plug myself, you guys, for any women out there who has potentially thought of coaching or is looking for a coach. I offer coaching, and I would love to have a free 30-minute coaching session with you to see if there's a way that we can co-create some absolute magic together. There's no catch. You're not going to owe me any money. We're just going to get on the phone and talk. So if that's something you're interested in, let me know. If not, you're not. But if you feel called to work with me, if you feel that I can help you, which I believe I can, I firmly know that I can help a ton of women, and I will, then please feel free to reach out. I would love to talk to you. Please feel free to click the link that I'm going to include in the comments and join the tribe. We are a fun bunch. I put a lot of value, and I'm getting ready to add even more value into it. The more I grow, the more the tribe grows. So whatever I learn, I share as well. And thank you guys for coming on. I know it maybe was not the show you were expecting tonight, but shit happens. Life happens. How we choose to move through it when it happens makes the difference. I could have easily said, oh my God, she didn't show up, so I'm not going to do this show. But you know what? I made a commitment. I said this show was happening. So guess what? The show must go on. The show happened. And I'm so fucking thankful it did. You guys, so thank you for everybody that came on. Again, if you're looking for an awesome space of badass women, please click the link I'm going to include in this to the tribe. In fact, hold on, y'all. We're doing this in real time. We're doing this in real time, y'all. I ain't even playing. I see y'all here. I'm on another page. Oh, all right. So, I'm getting you guys the link. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop this link to any woman who is potentially interested in joining the tribe. There we go. Copy. Thank you. I'm going to go ahead and, oh, it froze up on me. Here we go. Maybe. Ah! I'm going to go ahead and drop the link in the thing. There we go. So if you're interested in joining the tribe, there's the link right there. Again, if you would love to talk to me, if there's something that you would like to talk about, if you're interested in coaching, I offer coaching, multiple different ways to coach with me actually. And I am also offering a complimentary 30-minute coaching session with you. If you feel so called to do it, we'll get on the phone, we'll discuss what it is that you want to do with your life. How do you want to become empowered? And we will rock that shit out. No catches to it. If you don't feel called, you don't feel called. I'm not going to sit there and pressure you into anything. But if you feel that you want to up-level your life to the next level and make shit happen, holla at your girl. All right. And you guys, thank you for coming on. For anybody that came on, we went a little bit over an hour, but I had an absolute fucking amazing time, you guys. So I got to pitch this morning to a room of 40 people, and y'all, my voice shook the whole time, but I did it. And now I have a potential client out of it, and I have multiple meetings with amazing people coming up. Like I have 2 meetings on Friday, and I have some really awesome stuff just happening in the pipeline. So I'm really excited. So you guys, this is the part of the show where I tell y'all bye. All right. I just want to give a massive thank you to myself for coming on. And I want to give a massive thank you for Leslie to still coming on and bringing her presence on here. I know we're going to do an awesome show when it happens. I'm not even worried, y'all. I'm not even stressing. Shit happens. Life happens. We roll through it. We pivot. That's what it is. So I want to thank myself for doing my damn thing like I do. And I just want to thank all of you guys for taking your time out of your day to tune in. I know this wasn't the show you were expecting, but I hope it was a show that you enjoyed regardless. To tune in, you joined in on the conversation, you pulled your chair up to this table and claimed your spot, which is what you better start doing through the rest of life. Pull your chair up to the table, represent yourself. Okay? So make sure to turn your notifications on for me, you guys. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It don't matter if I have a guest or not. We going live. Tuesdays, Wednesdays, and Fridays, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. All right, so turn your notifications on for me so you know when we go live, which I just told you. Click the link if you want to join the tribe. Reach out to me if you want to talk to me about some coaching. And then tune in next time, which is going to be this Friday, 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'll put my doggy filter on. Woof, woof. It'll be a barking good time. And tune in for another badass conversation at the Tough Woman Table. Bye, y'all. Mwah.